Gina, I've finally started putting myself first, and now I feel guilty every time I spend money or time on myself. How do I get past that? Gina, someone I love keeps apologizing for the same behavior over and over. At what point do apologies stop meaning anything? Gina, I feel like I've outgrown the version of myself that everyone else is comfortable with. How do you deal with people who only seem to like the old you? Hi everyone, I'm Gina Zapanta, a lawyer, entrepreneur, and founder of Empowered with Gina, which is where we talk about everything to do with confidence building, going against what culture, society, all the pressures and expectations we have been taught to live by, how we do that together, how we do that through lived experience. So join me. Gina, I know I need better boundaries at work, but I worry that saying no will make me look difficult or ungrateful as an employee. How do you balance being kind with protecting yourself? Well, when it comes to the job place, that's easier because you stick to your job description. I'm an attorney, and I know when we represent employees who have been taken advantage of or terminated or discriminated against by their employer, or some situation has happened, we always go back to the job description. What's your job description there? Like, what are you supposed to be doing? Unlike a family relationship, there's an actual defined description of what you should do, which is the defined boundaries of that role. Speaking of boundaries, the job description is the boundary within which you need to stay. So if they are asking you consistently to go outside of your defined boundaries, then this is a wonderful opportunity for you to ask them for either a raise, a promotion, more money. This is completely fine. Now, if you start saying, oh no, I just want to be a team player. I want to, I don't want to seem like a difficult employee. That's on you. And from an employer's point of view, if an employee is going to give it their all and then some, that's a great deal for an employer because great, I pay them X amount and they do all this other stuff. So the employer is not going to necessarily tell you, no, don't do that. A good employer will. But make sure you're working somewhere that values you, that is respectful of you, that understands and as well stays within your defined job description. If they're consistently overreaching, making you feel bad about not showing up and not doing the extra work, and then they certainly don't compensate you for that, you give me a call. But also, bigger picture, start looking for another job because there are plenty of places out there that will align and have a really great work culture and as well take advantage of everything you have to offer them as an employee. Gina, I've finally started putting myself first, and now I feel guilty every time I spend money or time on myself. How do I get past that? Isn't that something when you do start aligning with yourself, you may start feeling guilty about actually spending time on yourself, doing things for you. It's a very unnatural situation and sensation only because we've never been there. But believe me, the more you do it, the more comfortable you'll get with it, just like with anything else. So continue to lean into it. If it is serving you and your needs, your peacefulness, and if it aligns with the life that you want in a positive way, then do it. And know that if you feel uncomfortable, that's okay. It doesn't mean it's wrong. And instead of saying, oh, I'm wasting money, change that term to, I'm making an investment on myself. And if you feel like, no, I'm not, this is really a waste of money, then that's your answer. But if you're like, yeah, I am investing in getting weekly massages at the mall. Mall massages are the best, by the way. If you are saying that is an investment in calming my nervous system, relaxing my muscles, things like that, I justify that as very much an investment because that keeps me feeling good. That keeps my body feeling good. And so sure, I can see as a waste of time. Just take some Tylenol. Your muscles will stop hurting. Just go to sleep. That's free technically, but at the same time, if you position and angle it as an investment question, that changes the conversation. And I think I'm absolutely worth the investment. Now, if I'm buying a bunch of purses for no reason, just to have them, that's feeding an insecurity and that's feeding ego because you only get these purses to show the world that you own these purses, which goes back into the conversation of consumerism and insecurity, but that's not what we're talking about. And if you are doing that, then that's maybe not an investment. Again, ask yourself, is what I'm doing for myself an investment in myself? Or am I really just kind of spending money, putting a Band-Aid over bigger issues that I should address? Gina, someone I love keeps apologizing for the same behavior over and over. At what point do apologies stop meaning anything? They stop meaning everything the second you decide to stop tolerating their clear behavior that they've showed you over and over again. This goes back to you. This is never about them. People treating you poorly speaking to you poorly, any kind of that interaction that does not align with you, consistently, if it keeps happening, that is all about you, honey. That is all about you tolerating that. Wake up. Wake up. Your boundaries are yours. That does not mean everyone's going to fit in it. Oh, but I love them and I want them. Stop. We're well past that. You love yourself first and foremost. And if loving yourself means strict boundaries where you're not going to tolerate that bullshit ass behavior that they keep giving you, then that means sometimes they're not going to be part of your life anymore. And sometimes they will. Sometimes they'll be like, okay, well, these are your new boundaries. I love you too, and I want to be part of your life. I will also work on my behavior, and we'll do this together, and we'll grow together. And you take it day by day, because there's no fortune telling. There's no future telling. You take it day by day. You judge their actions based on what they're doing, not their words, because talk is cheap. Are they following through with what they want? Repeating the action and also stopping it. Gina, how do you forgive someone without letting them back into your life? Well, this is a really interesting worded question, because how do you forgive someone without letting them back into your life? So you've already decided you do not want them back into your life. That is your boundary. You decide. That is your decision to make. Don't listen to what everyone's telling you. You decide. Maybe your therapist can help you too. The forgiveness is really for you. That is not about them. The forgiveness is really for you to be able to let go. Oh, they just want me to forgive them. You will forgive them when and if you're ever ready. And if you're not ever ready, that's okay too. There's no wrong. The forgiveness that you are questioning to give that person is for you to feel free and for you to just accept what has happened as it's what has happened. It doesn't affect me one way or the other. And it's a process. It takes time. Sometimes it's faster than other times, and that's okay. But understanding that that is for you, the forgiveness that you're considering. So if you really want to be liberated from the stress and trauma of whatever that situation was, then you will have more consistent conversations with, am I ready to really just release, forgive, but I am not going to let that person back in because it was either too traumatic, it broke me too much, they are never going to change. You'll make that decision. So happy decision making. Gina, I feel like I've outgrown the version of myself that everyone else is comfortable with. How do you deal with people who only seem to like the old you? Well, how I deal with it is I don't deal with it. People that don't like the new me, the empowered me, why the hell would I have them around? The people that think I'm full of shit, that I don't know what I'm talking about, that I've changed, that I'm a show off, I don't want those people in my life. They don't want to be a part of mine. So why then would you want those people around? Now, there are people who are also on their own growth journeys, along with mine in their own way, and we align and we connect with each other and we share our wins. And the intensity of the relationship can change throughout our lives. Sometimes I'll be closer to one person and then, kind of fades and I'm not so close to them anymore and someone else. This is all fluid. We're all just humans doing the best we can with what we have. But certainly having people around you in your circle, in your community, people you communicate with who don't like the new version of you, well, then you know where the door is. It's that way and you can go because the new me ain't changing. I love me. I love who I am. And if I trigger you, if I make you uncomfortable, if I offend you, then I'm not the person for you and that's okay. Gina, I'm very successful in my career, but still constantly comparing myself to women on social media. How do you stop feeling like you're behind? Well, you stop feeling like you're behind by realizing they're not ahead because they're not. Everyone is on their own journey. You comparing yourself to someone, even a colleague, a family member, someone on social media, their journey is so beyond vastly different than yours. It's apples and oranges. You cannot compare an apple to an orange. They're completely distinctly different. So knowing that your life is your life, your journey is your journey, your pathway is yours. And then asking yourself, are you on this timeline, this pathway, this journey to serve others, to meet other people's timeline goals, to make sure everyone else is happy with you? Or are you doing it for you? Are you doing it for you? Are you happy with your goals? And if you're not, do you want more? Go for it, girl. But comparing yourself to others' successes is a sure way to slow you down, stop you in your tracks, and make you not do it. Okay? So your journey is your own. What you see as compared to others, use it as motivation. Don't use it as feeling insecure. Don't use it as feeling jealous. And when you feel those things, use that as your signal of, I'm feeling jealous or triggered by seeing someone else's success. This is my opportunity to change that perspective and be like, why am I jealous of them? They are doing or having something that I want. And then it becomes your own conversation where, what do I have to do to align to get what they have or some version of it for your life? Gina, I always thought confidence would come after I reached my goals, but I still don't feel confident. Where does real confidence actually come from? So I understand this very well because throughout my career and my personal life, I have accomplished many things, and I understand so well after the accomplishment, it's kind of like, okay, now what? Like there's not this grand hurrah like moment where I'm like, I did it. Well, I do say that, but then like 5 seconds later, it's kind of numb, or I'm just not in that headspace anymore. And it's like, well, now what? I have realized though, confidence comes from the fact that I continue to go for it. Confidence is less to do with me accomplishing the goal and more to do with me consistently showing up, pursuing the goal through fear, through insecurity, through failure after failure after failure, through lack of, support from people, and just overall imposter syndrome. Me continuing to show up and push through all of that, whether I reach my goal fully, halfway, or not at all, that's where I draw my confidence from. Is knowing that I can do that. I can go through anything. And so the outcome, yeah, great. We want it to work out, but if it doesn't, I know I could just get back up again and pivot or change my mind or do something completely different. That's where my confidence comes from. So focus less on the outcome. Of course, we want it to happen, and embrace more the fact that you continue to show up for your goals on your terms, and that will naturally start breeding confidence in yourself. Gina, my friends always joke that I'm the strong one, but nobody ever checks on me. How do you ask for support when everyone assumes you don't need it? I'm like that too. I've always been told I'm a type A. I have masculine energy. And so people always assume that I am as well. The one that's always okay. I am the strong one, typically. Whatever that means, strong, you know what I mean. Regardless of people define you as strong or not, I know one thing, especially for women, one thing that's extremely hard for us to do is to ask for help. So if you feel like, yeah, everyone thinks I'm strong and I have always been told that I'm strong, get comfortable with being uncomfortable and asking for help. Delegate tasks. Tell someone, hey, I can't show up today. I need space. I need to sit with myself today. Start being open. Start communicating more. We're not these strong like fortresses of steel. We are human. We are beautifully human with emotions, and realizing that that in fact is a superpower. That is what makes us strong, and the ability to communicate that not only to yourself, but to others, to give you what you need, whether it's a shoulder to cry on, someone to listen to you, someone to pop ideas around with, someone to just give you your space without getting triggered, like, oh, you don't want to hang out with. Learning to speak up for yourself and recognize that when you do need the support, when you do need help delegating, because we cannot do it all, that is in fact strong. That in fact fortifies you even further to be able to show up in your natural self how you typically do. Gina, if you could go back and give your 25-year-old self one piece of advice about relationship boundaries or self-worth, what would it be? The one piece of advice I would give myself is to trust your gut. We have been taught, especially as women, to disengage our intuition. Our intuition, the divine feminine energy, the divine intuition, it lives in our gut. Our gut mind, our brain gut, is so much stronger than our actual cerebral brain, and it intuitively knows what works for us. How many relationships, situationships, adventures did I get myself on because I learned to disengage what I knew did not self-serve me? I knew it didn't. I knew it wasn't for me. But I wanted to be accepted. I didn't want to be alone. I wanted to fit in. I had FOMO, or I just really didn't have the answer. And instead of like being by myself, I would rather just be with someone. And I was lucky to have a relationship, all that stuff, right? I've been through many versions. We will talk about that later. Many relationships. We will talk about that later. So to my 25-year-old self, I would say, listen to your intuition. If you know it doesn't feel right, if it's not for you, walk away, and it is okay to be alone. It is okay to be the odd person out. It is okay to not be accepted by the group. It is okay to do things on your terms because your gut is telling you. Your gut is telling you that that's what you want. And it can very well change as you grow, as you experience things in life. Your gut will align with that. So intuition is everything. Trust it. Put it over everything else.